Well, hello, somebody. Welcome back to Inside the Trenches, special edition, baby, because we inside the trenches. I have LSU All-American Drake Nevis in the building. Drake, like I said, balled out at LSU, was a third-round draft pick to the Indianapolis Colts. In my opinion, he was an NFL journeyman, but journeyman with a purpose, and I am so excited to have my brother on the show joining me. Now, Drake, before we took a break, and remember, y'all, make sure y'all follow him on Instagram at Drake Nevis. And, we have our training videos and stuff like that on YouTube, so y'all can check the Conquer page for that. Drake does the same thing as well with me, with the students with Conquer. Drake, before we took a break, we talked about the national championship year. The next year wasn't really all that hot. We had to rotate a lot of quarterbacks. We had Ryan on the show a few weeks ago. He talked about his exit from the team, how that affected us. Me and Tyson Jackson's last year. I guess that was more of a blur to us that year. But talk to our listeners about the following years at LSU. A lot of my teammates on those Coach Miles teams that had Coach Brick Haley coaching on the defensive line, Coach Shavers as a defensive coordinator for those teams. What was that experience like playing for those guys?
They fit right in, aggressive style, making sure we're, see ball, hit ball, see ball, get ball.
Yeah.
Like wherever the ball carrier, I want everybody to tackle them. So as anything, with all the talent we had, we was able to pretty much cover every blade of grass.
Yeah. And I did see that. Like, we were watching some of your highlights from your junior year, from your senior year. Now, mind y'all, I played with Drake his freshman and sophomore year, so I know all about how his career was, being his teammate, going through practice drills with him as a junior, and when he was as his freshman and sophomore year, but as a junior and senior, those were my years bouncing all around the NFL, just being a journeyman. But to see you progress, it seems like things got a little better, per se, for you. I mean, you're going to get better as, time over time, practice makes perfect. You're going to get better. But like I mentioned on the film, the explosiveness, the playmaking ability, the awareness, even if it's, I think y'all sent Ron Brooks, just got off the phone with Ryan, too. I was talking to him earlier. Y'all sent Ron on a safety blitz off the edge. Boom, Ryan knocks the ball out. You're there to scoop and recover that ball. There's just that awareness. We've seen a lot of that. What are some games, man, like from that junior year that really stood out to you, and then in that senior year that really stood out to you?
I would say that my junior year, it was getting after Washington, and then playing Florida Gators. I think I had like 8 tackles, and I had both of the twins on me pretty much the whole game. So that pretty much showed that, technique, and I was physically ready to go take that next step, because both of the pounces, they went in the first round.
Yeah.
So that was, I never forget battling against those guys, and especially my junior year, where they was coming at me, and
Yeah.
we gonna battle the whole game. So yeah, I think I had 8 tackles that game.
Yeah, I like the transition of LSU teams, right? When I first got to LSU, it was guys like Melvin Oliver, Marcus Spears, Corey Webster. I still had Marcus Randall as a teammate. Skylar Green, just like me and you had 2 years as teammates, I had 2 years with Skylar, my freshman and sophomore year. And it's just how the times changed. And it just seemed like I still went back to a lot of y'all games. A guy that was a scout team running back for us was a star running back for y'all, and Stephen Ridley. Then double back, he's my teammate we draft when I'm with the Patriots. It's like to see guys really get better. The Richard Murphys, I saw him and Jacob Kuchera with Jacksonville. Just those guys, those teams that mesh. Tyrann Mathieu, he wasn't my teammate, but he was your teammate.
Absolutely.
Patrick Peterson and Chad Jones were my teammates. They were your teammates and his teammates, but we all a part of that LSU family tree. Now, Drake, your senior year, you go ham, man. You cap off with like maybe 3 or 4 sacks that senior year. Interception, scooping, couple of, well, that was Mr. Scoop and Score 89. That was LaVar with the scoop and score action. Again, LaVar's another, he played with the Sam Montgomerys and the Michael Brockers. These are guys y'all played with. I didn't play with these players, right? Mm-hmm. But it just talks about how the tradition of the line really carried on, and guys got better. Yep, and so I guess my question for you is that, okay, you're going through the draft process, you sign with your agent, a couple grades going out there, you got good tape going out, you get drafted third round to the Indianapolis Colts. Talk to us about that rookie year in the NFL, man.
It was another blessing. I have, like Hall of Famers on each edge, Mathis and Freeney. It doesn't get no better than that.
Yes,
like
indeed.
Once again, I go to LSU with a lot of mentors. I mean, to get mentored by Hall of Famers and other veterans, it doesn't get no better than that. So once again, step up and do your job and have fun.
And that's crazy because you get drafted by the Colts in 11, right? 2011. Mm-hmm. I was on that roster in 2010. So guys like Eric Foster, the guys you're talking about, Freeney,
Mook,
Big Mook.
Tony Johnson.
I with the guy right there from Mississippi State, Big Mook. Dan Muir should have still been on the team. Yep.
Rico,
you had you should have had
Jerry Hughes was there.
Jerry funny, bro. Jerry's still playing. That's my boy right there. Man, me and Jerry used to, I never forget, I got a funny Jerry story. So I technically, even though it was my second year in the NFL, I still was required to go to those rookie mini camps, right? Mm-hmm. So that was my roommate. So we playing the Madden. I mean, I'm telling you, going back and forth on the Madden, right? So then fast forward, it's training camp. So, most guys go back to their rooms and go to sleep. We still playing the game. When you get that little midday break, Peyton Manning thought it would be a good idea to pull a prank. So him and Dallas Clark, what they did was, okay, so they waited to see what guys went back to their room and went to sleep. You usually close your door when you're about to go to sleep just so you get the maximum quiet. Man, bro, I never forget. He passed by. He thought he was going to catch us lacking. He didn't catch us lacking. Our door was open. It was like, they were tiptoeing by. It was like, oh, now you can't get us. He was like, oh. I said, yeah, I'm up on it. And then Dan was knocked out sleeping there, bruh. What they did, they filled up a trash can full of hot water, leaned it against his door, knocked on the door. Man, what y'all want? Man, Dan opened that, all that water messed up all his shoes and all that. Them dudes were some pranksters, bro. I never forget that, dog.
Filling the car up with popcorn and stuff like that. Crazy. I heard about that.
And you should have played. That's right. You played with Reggie Wayne too. And see the West Bank connection just all over the NFL. That's crazy.
Greatest moments ever being professionally. Reggie Wayne, my junior year, he came and him and Cardell hooked us up with a weight room, and that's I was tight. Like, wow, Pro Bowler, NFL guys coming to our school. Little did I know. Years later, that Reggie Wayne would be my teammates from the same neighborhood.
It's crazy.
That's amazing. I talk about that as often as I can.
It's wild, man, because the conversations, and then Joseph Adai was there, another teammate of mine at LSU.
From LSU, yep.
That's crazy. And I could just remember, like, with Weeze, we could talk about stories when they were at John Eric because he played with my brother Mel. So it was like a family connection. My cousin Bryson, Osborne, like all of these guys. And so for me to be in the NFL teammates with a guy, in my opinion, that's already a legend. I mean, his years at Miami, what he did legendary locally here for John Eric, just was, a stellar career. He will be in the Hall of Fame soon. Mm-hmm. Okay, Drake. You bounce around the NFL, you go to the Cowboys, you play for Jacksonville, Carolina, and then you said, you know what, I'll go ahead to the CFL, and there you win a Grey Cup. What was that CFL experience like?
CFL, it was more kind of like college, because you're around your teammates and you're away from home, so a lot of y'all pretty much could relate to each other, and 18 games, it's a grind, and I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it seemed like I had an opportunity. I just got released from Washington. This was in 2012, okay. And they flew me to New York, and then at first they were talking about they were gonna sign me for the rest of the season for like $50K. Now at the time I'm working with I'm working at De La Salle High School. I'm coaching. I just got picked up by the Washington Commanders. I got released, went back to my coaching job, and then I got picked up. Well, I was about to get picked up by Canada. Man, I stayed in the Big Apple that night and just enjoyed myself some New York pizza because I wasn't about to fly out there. What happened was when I landed, they were like, man, how much you weigh right now? I was like, man, I'm about, at the time, I was like 340. So, oh, man, we thought you were like 317. I'm like, nah, you didn't check. I thought y'all checked my profile at the play the nose guard at Washington. Like, they didn't want me to. That's a whole other animal.
That's a difference.
Like, why y'all don't do your research? So they was like, well, man, we could bring you on a practice squad. And they was talking something crazy, like a couple of them. I was like, oh, no, we can't do that. I'm going back to my job back at De La Salle. So we stayed there that night, and then eventually I got picked up again by the UFL. Back then, the UFL played with that team out there in California, the Mountain Lions. But man, Drake, brother, so many good memories from LSU, even when we were teammates. And so to see you really flourish and do exceptionally well throughout your career. And just to let y'all guys know, after he played for, he went to San Diego Chargers, the Dallas Cowboys. He played with Carolina, then in the Canadian Football League, the Hamilton Tigers, Winnipeg, and then the last few years with Toronto. And listen, just one heck of a career. As I mentioned, the Grey Cup, the national championship, first team All-American, All-SEC at LSU, and just had one stellar career. Man, Drake, so much have changed, man. Before we, wrap up this segment, I want to talk to you about the big change up in NCAA football. Like, I'm going to ask you just a question like this, all right? And I'm alluding to the NIL stuff.
Absolutely.
At LSU, just take a wild guess. With the career you had, what type of NIL money you think you would have got? Hello, somebody. It's the host of Inside the Trenches podcast, Marlon Big Fave Favorite. Did you know Small Sliders had an app? You can go to your Google Play Store or your Apple Store right now, download the Small Sliders app in Marrero, and order your food right now. You want to get a number 2? Well, slide through 1635 Barataria Boulevard in Marrero. Small Sliders, simple on purpose. Are you looking for your dream home? Well, if that's the case, you need to contact Joe Piccolo at Godwin Realty, right here in New Orleans. Joe can put you in your dream home right away. Joe Piccolo and the folks over at Godwin Realty put you in the house that you need. Even if you're looking to invest in some property, they'll do an excellent job with that as well. Contact Joe today at 504-251-8341. Again, that phone number is 504-251-8341. And also contact Joel at joel.godwinrealty.com. No need to dream anymore. Godwin Realty will put you in the dream house of your reality. Hello, somebody. Are you a student athlete looking to take your career to the next level? Look no further than Conquer Sports Pros. That's right, Conquer Sports Pros. Our team of experts will get you guys on the right path to your student athlete journey in life. That's right, we have every position in football you need, and we also help out with other sports. At Conquer Sports Pros, you have everything from a list of consultation, training, and also media training. Yeah, that's right, when you take your career to the next level, play college and hopefully pro, you'll get lots of interviews. Call Conquer Sports Pros today. You can reach them at 504-319-6672 or visit marlonfavorite.com for more information. Hello, somebody. Ooh.
Yeah, it would have been pretty handsome.
I think, okay.
It would have been pretty handsome.
So let's say, for instance, on LSU's roster right now, let's say a guy like Harold Perkins, he's probably got like a $700K value. You see yourself probably somewhere like around maybe 500?
Yeah, I could probably max out at 5.
I'm probably about 300.
Yeah.
Glenn.
Handsome,
Glenn Dorsey. What you think?
Yeah, Mill.
He would have been a Mill. He would have
a Millie guy.
Early Doucette.
Close to a Mill too.
Ryan Perilou.
Couple Mills.
I think he probably would have got about 900. I ain't telling. He said to me, I think he would have got about, because I'm looking at how big he was coming out of high school.
Yeah,
like he had a lot of buzz.
Like 1-2.
Well, I want to because I guess a guy like Jade might have got like 9. See Angel Reese and Flaugier, like they 1.5 million too. Livy Dunn, like those ladies are making more money because football players, so many guys you got to pay. Like you got a guy like, let's say Archman, right at about what, 3-4 million.
I see.
Bronny, you see where I'm going at with this? So I'm like, man, when Drake come on the show, I'm gonna ask him, man, where you think your value would be at? But your thoughts on all of that, Drake? Like we had to make a lot of sacrifice. We had to have a lot of patience, and we also had to, we legit, right? This was for you wasn't there yet. This was your senior year. You were just about to sign with us. I say this all the time to when I go on shows and stuff. I watch Glenn stare $20 million down a barrel, turn and come back to LSU and play a freshman year with you, your freshman year. Like he really did that. So I think the level of commitment, Drake, I guess is what I'm asking you here. The level of commitment, the game has changed. I'm not knocking none of these guys, but it seemed like the level of commitment's changed too.
Absolutely. I think it changed so much to where, my junior year I had 50 tackles, 4 sacks, 10 tackles for loss, and an SEC.
Yeah.
Yeah. First 2 day guy.
Yeah.
But I didn't know. I didn't even turn my grade in.
Man, that's so you come out your junior year, you might go first, second. So your junior year was better than your senior year?
It was
from the numbers perspective.
It was just as productive.
Man, that's big.
Less snaps. I rotated my junior year. My senior year, I didn't rotate.
Wait, so you only started one full year?
One full year.
Your senior year. What, it was you and Pep rotating in the inside? I forget that rotation.
What year?
Your junior year.
Oh no, junior year was me
and Charles.
Charles and Al Woods.
Right. Because L got drafted after that year, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, indeed, man. I forgot about that. Yeah, because L was still there with you another season. It was just one. That's right, because he got drafted by the Saints in the 4th round, and then next year you got drafted, but just off of 1C. But that's like the Quinn Williams story I tell. Like back then, it was more common to see guys compete and ride it out. Like, it was about competing for us. Like, my whole time at LSU, I was a rotational starter. Like, I never was, like, the starter, right? I think about that now, but it's so crazy because when you have big-time lines like this, like, you do, how could I say that to explain it? When you have big-time lines like that, and it's 4 stars, 5 stars coming in every year, you want to compete with that if you ask me.
Of course.
Think about that. Like, Drake, okay, give you an example. I'll take my situation. My freshman year red shirt. Like, Coach Saban, he was straight up. Like, he shot from the hip. He was like, he came to me after our last non-conference game, looked me right now, he said, Marlon, we're going to go ahead and red shirt you. I don't think it'll be a good idea to play you this year. You won't get a lot of snaps. I mean, we got Kyle, we got Claude. Glenn was the guy who was able to get in that rotation. So Glenn regretted that. Like he had conversations with me about this when we were in college. Like, man, I don't got it like you and Tyson. Like, I gotta eat. Like, same thing with you. Like, y'all didn't have that extra year. And then the next year I played in like 3 games. Like 3, maybe 4 games. And then after that sophomore, redshirt sophomore, junior, and senior year, rotational starter. Like, okay, and at some point, Glenn and Tyson never came out, and then if you remember, everybody else just rotated around. But to me, that just makes us stronger. We see the Saints doing that right now. The Saints, they have Brian Bruzy. He was probably one of the more productive D tackles last year, but he rotated in with the guys who was in the league. So I just really missed that portion of it. Man, right on. Y'all get y'all money. Like, I'm happy for that. Y'all keep getting it. Shoot, Drake, them get the NCAA and all that about to drop. Boy, we about to eat too now. They got to put them 07 teams on there. You know what I'm saying? Them classic teams.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be a cool thing, man. Drake, before I get you out of here. LSU currently, right? We're about to come up on their season here. Things have changed, but we do see some more familiar faces. You're familiar with Coach Corey Raymond because your years at LSU, he was on staff coaching the DBs. You actually saw you and I saw the making of DBU being formulated in our time there. Shoot, the next year you leave, them boys go to a national championship, crazy. And then I kind of look at, guys like Bo Davis, who's back. Bo didn't coach you, but he coached me under Coach Dunbar and under Coach Travis Jones. So to see those familiar faces, the LSU D-line has been a big topic here in the last 2 years. It's been a decline. It's not what we're used to talking about right now. Right now, we're sharing good memories about depth of guys who started and played in the NFL. Your thoughts on the decline of LSU's D-line? Do you think it was more about not having that quality of player in the state like that anymore? And we see that coming back around. You got the kid from saying, "Oh, he's a dog." Carr. We have Mike and a couple of guys over at Shaw. Like, you have, like, that coming back, but that period, I guess I'm talking about, like, Miles' coach. I would probably say Coach Ed Ogeron exit, like, right at that line to last year. Your thoughts on where LSU's defensive line will go, but what got them to that point, in your opinion?
Defense in general, the tradition is LSU was also a defensive powerhouse.
Yeah.
And for the past couple of years, it's been a rough patch. So it's time to get back on board. It's time to do your research, see what those people did, see and really know the identity of and the tradition of what Tiger football it really is, and then that should motivate workouts, should motivate everything that you need to prepare for game time.
Yeah. I agree. I couldn't agree with you more. Is that, like, that process took the back seat to NIL, if you ask me. Get your money. By all means, do that. That's important. A lot of us, just bouncing back, right, from living that lifestyle to going into regular society and trying to not only cope with missing the game, but also giving yourself enough grace and enough time to evolve and adapt into something. Life is all about adapting and adjusting. But I do look at the NIL situation as a crutch. Like, now you got guys that before they even get to competing and getting better and being better technicians, they trying to figure out how much NIL money they can get out of a situation. And then instead of building team camaraderie, being able to get coaching, develop, get better, man, I'm hopping in the portal. Now, with that being said, that is a thin line. Some situations, like, let me ask you a question, and let's get into a time capsule and come to this time that we're at right now as players, and then what we went through back then. Do you think you would have possibly gotten the portal?
I pretty much was set.
Yeah.
So I would have stayed
and fought.
I was set.
I kind of said that same answer, even with the career I had, because it's like, all right, if I get in the portal, you risk not going to the grass isn't always green on the other side. So unless you do, like you mentioned earlier, a whole bunch of research and then know who you're competing against, but then that kind of deters from what we're saying. I don't care who the competition is. Like, I had to fight with playing time with guys like Ricky Jean Francois, double-digit years in the NFL. L. Woods, still playing. Drake Nevis, Grey Cup. You know what I'm saying? Glenn Darcy, the most decorated defensive tackle in LSU history. Like, that's the smoke I wanted, and I feel like a lot of kids in this generation ducking that smoke, Drake. Yeah. They really are.
Yeah, let's be honest.
Yeah, they are. Well, he's Drake Nevis. Man, thank you so much for coming on the show, bro. We're going to get Drake back on.
Oh, yeah, yes, absolutely.
Indeed. When we come back, when we get Drake back on the show, we're going to talk about, right now we're doing training with Conquer Sports and Body by Phil. Like, we have the whole package for student athletes to get better and take their careers to the next level, because the cloth that we cut from, they don't really make that material anymore. But finding balance, how to navigate through this NIL world and what decisions to make, because I know what is missing, like he said, the traditional way of preparing is missing, getting better, hitting the weights, doing excessive training. But what's missing a lot of times it's consultation in this situation, so we can definitely help y'all out with that for sure. But I want to thank Drake. Remember, y'all can follow Drake at Drake Nevis on Instagram, and be sure to like and subscribe to the page here at New Orleans Talk Network. You can check this full episode out also on your YouTube, and then go to YouTube and go Inside the Trenches with Marlon Favorite, and you can be sure to like and subscribe to that for the shorts from the New Orleans Talk Network deals. We want to thank Godwin Realty once again for sponsoring this segment. Y'all can check out Godwin Realty if you're looking to sell your house, refinance your house. You might be looking to be a first-time home buyer. You might just pop in town and you don't know where you want to live. You might need to rent. Hit Joel up. Hit Joe Piccolo up, Joel at GodwinRealty.com. He will get you straight and let him know that you heard about him on Inside the Trenches. Well, that does it, y'all, for another episode of Inside the Trenches. Be sure to like and subscribe as I mentioned, but go to ESPN 1003.com. Click on the on-air demand app. You could go ahead and see the Sports Hangover. You can check out our show here on Inside the Trenches and many more. Don't forget, again, y'all, lastly, text 94253, text the word Big Fave to get on that hot list, baby. And we out, because Inside the Trenches, ESPN New Orleans. Hello, somebody.
For the radio, hello.